Hi everybody and welcome to GG ahead of the last big international meeting of the year. The Hong Kong International Races takes place on Sunday, getting underway pretty early, 5:40 in the morning for the first of them. That's the Vase over 1.5 miles, which is a distance that they only race over 3 times in a year in Hong Kong. So it does attract the specialists. There's only 2 Group 1 winners in the lineup this year. They are Mogul, who lines up for Aidan O'Brien, and Exultant, the winner of this race 2 years ago. I'm going to side with Exultant. Although he's been beaten in his preps, he probably really does need this extra distance to be seen to best advantage. My concern with Mogul, although we know he's very, very well regarded by Aidan and the Ballydoyle team, he has had a hard campaign since winning at Goodwood in July. He's raced in 3 different countries, and I just think that by this time he might be over the top. Add into that, Aidan O'Brien doesn't have the best record. He is just 2 from 22 in Hong Kong. Move on to the sprint, which I think is absolutely fascinating. Hot King Prawn didn't do too much wrong in this race last year, and I like him to gain recompense. He's looked pretty good all year. He could just be too strong for the internationals, who do include the intriguing Tower of London. He races for Godolphin, and if you wind the clock back 12 months ago, he was in brilliant form. He landed the Centaur Stakes and the Sprinter Stakes. They decided against a tilt at Hong Kong, and his form this year hasn't been nearly as good, but on back class he should certainly be able to have a say in this, so he could just be interesting at a slightly bigger price. He is in fact the only international Group 1 winner in there. Move on to the mile, and I think you'd have to be pretty brave to take on Golden 60 here. He's only been beaten once in Hong Kong. He's a magnificent horse, and although he hasn't been tested really well at all at this level, I just think that he's got the momentum at the moment to be very much the one to beat. There's a few old boys in there, including Beauty Generation. It would be something of a fairy tale if he could win it. We've also got Romanise, the Irish challenger for Ken Condon. But for me, Golden 60, very much the one to beat there. And I'm just not sure about Order of Australia. Was that Breeders' Cup mile win a fluke? It might well have been, or maybe they've suddenly found the key to him and he can go on and continue his improvement, but he won't get the Lasix that he had in America, so that will be a reservation with him. So I'm going to stick with Golden 60 in the mile. On to the Cup, which is the most prestigious of all the races, and wouldn't it be wonderful if Magical could close out her career with an 8th Group 1? If she can do so, then she'll be the most successful horse ever to race at that level for Ballydoyle. However, similar comments apply to her as to Aidan's other runners. I'm just a bit worried about the fact it's been a long season for her. She's raced in lots of different countries, and is she quite as good as she was at the peak of her powers? Her win at Leopardstown looked very good, but I'm not sure that that hard race there didn't leave a mark. So I'm going to overlook her. And the one who interests me from Japan, from their raiders, is Down on Premium. Top level form that he brings into this race, courtesy of his 4th in the Tenno Show Autumn behind Almond Eye. So maybe he's the best of the raiders. But Furore also interests me for Tony Cruz. Won his last 2. He looks exciting at the moment. So Furore for me, or Down on Premium in the big one. Enjoy Hong Kong. It's the last big hurrah of the year. Well worth getting up early for.